So guys, in today's video is going to be big theory time. So I made a video the other day, and in the middle of that video I kind of came up with an idea mid-recording, as I normally do, about a brand new theory. And so in today's video we are going to be clearing up absolutely everything that I was trying to get out of my mouth in the last video. Now you guys have probably already seen the thumbnail, so in today's video we are going to be linking the notes with different characters, and I am going to persuade you that there is still another big boss that we have not yet seen in Piggy. But if you're new around here, make sure to subscribe because we are going to be going through absolutely everything Piggy related. We cover all sorts of Piggy stuff here on this channel, so make sure to subscribe if you are new. So I want to take a look at this note right here, which was seen in Piggy Book 2, Chapter 5, and this is the Light the Beacon, Summon It note. And I want to just point out that this is the exact same note as Mr. Stitchy's notes that did come out in the Halloween update. So it's the same grainy background and it is also the same font. The only difference is, obviously, this one is in capital letters, probably meaning that Mr. Stitchy is more than likely shouting. Also, Mr. Stitchy did appear in 5 maps, and we are going to be going through in this video just what these mean. So Mr. Stitchy appeared in the house. He also appeared in the forest. He then appeared in the school. He also appeared in the carnival, and he also appeared in the alleys. Now I find it quite funny that in most of these chapters there was somebody or some people that actually went missing. So in Book 2, Chapter 1 of the Alleys, which obviously in Piggy time did happen first because this was a complete flashback, we now know that William went missing. Book 1, Chapter 1, Mr. Stitchy then appears in the house, and of course the Piggy family went missing. Book 1, Chapter 4, we also have him appearing and also actually spawning in to the forest. And of course our good friend Mr. Doggy does go missing, or does get infected in that very chapter. He then appears in the school map, and this is where we actually fall sick, as well as Bunny potentially becoming infected. And then last but not least, he does also appear in the carnival, where Foxy was left up in the cage by his supposed friends, and then he becomes infected. So Mr. Stitchy has in fact appeared in all of the chapters where all of these characters have either got infected or gone missing. So just to clear it up, it's Mr. Stitchy in the house where the Piggy family goes missing, it's also in the forest where Doggy goes missing, it's also in the school where we get also almost infected, as well as Bunny potentially getting her first moment of getting infected. We also have the carnival where Foxy gets infected, and we also have the alleys where of course William does go missing. Next up, I just want to take a very close look at Mr. Stitchy's eyes. So of course you have one ringed eye and you also have a very plain white eye. And now I'm going to take you to the distorted memory map where you see those eyes in the sky, and it really does not match up to Mr. Stitchy. Half of it does, half of it does not, because you see 2 ringed red eyes. So either there is another entity out there that we are not aware of that is actually similar to Mr. Stitchy but not Mr. Stitchy, but I also have another theory as to why this is in fact Mr. Stitchy, but he now has a white eye. So perhaps Mr. Stitchy was in fact, you know, he was infecting people, but then he kind of got his eye damaged in some way, shape or form, and then he kind of lost his ability to do what he needed to do. And when I mean that, I mean by like infecting people, going around, you know, doing his normal things. And so maybe that is where he kind of called upon the help of Willow. And so I feel like Willow has kind of been Mr. Stitchy's little apprentice for quite some time, but I feel like Mr. Stitchy is now not at his strongest. And this is where I feel that this also leads to the beacon, where we are going to summon it, whatever it is. Now again, I would just like to point out that this note is the exact same note as Mr. Stitchy's style, so maybe this is Mr. Stitchy speaking right here. However, because he says summon it, he is speaking about something else. And when I say something else, I kind of mean maybe somebody else. So a lot of people have started to think that this beacon is kind of when he spawned into the forest. However, I don't believe that that is the beacon. I believe believe that the beacon is this very thing right here. That Pony is walking through the forest, and in the distance you see a great big tall tower type thing with a red light emitting from the top of it. Now this was also towards the end of the flashback trailer, so maybe this is leading up to a great big finale, something to do with this beacon. Now what is a beacon, I hear you ask? So if you put into Google what is a beacon, what actually comes up is a fire or light set up in a high or prominent position as a warning or signal. Now I'm sure you guys probably remember this note right here that appeared in the mall. Well, what if this note actually didn't mean don't trust the silver paw? And what if all along, I know I'm gonna say it, I'm not gonna say that I'm, right all the time, but what if I was right by saying it was don't trust the signal? The signal being the beacon that could well be in charge of Mr. Stitchy, potentially even Willow. And this beacon or signal is in fact what is infecting everybody else, or at least controlling everybody else. And maybe there is again another entity behind this beacon. Maybe once this beacon is fully lit, or at least, I don't know, maybe working, maybe it is actually going to summon another entity. I mean, that theory is a little bit far-fetched, but I really strongly believe that this note right here does mean don't trust the signal. The signal being the beacon. Now there are theories that Mr. Stitchy, he could be Pony's dad, all of this sort of stuff, and it could still be true, but I really kind of believe that there is another character out there, and again I'm going to tell you why right now. So the Mr. Stitchy notes in the Halloween update were kind of confusing, so we're just going to go through those right now, and I'm just going to explain everything that was said. So we had a note that appeared in the forest which said, do not draw the house with light. It will draw him too. There was also another note in the school map which said, I gave him a face. I was his only friend. There was also another note in the carnival which also said someone began to disrupt the countryside. The descriptions of witnesses matched his look. I never saw him again. And then again there is another note in the carnival which says, when he learnt of my condition, he grew sad, frustrated, and left. And with this being said, I feel like maybe Mr. Stitchy could have actually been somebody else. Maybe somebody else actually had some form of condition type weird thing going on with themselves. Maybe they're like telekinesis and they can do all of this sort of stuff and infect people and control people. Maybe this is Mr. Stitchy, but is also another character. Maybe it could be William, I'm not so sure, but that is why this is kind of linking up to being Pony's dad. So let's just round up here everything that I have said. I hope that I've kind of explained this a little bit better, guys, but I believe that this beacon is going to be whatever Pony found in the snowy forest, where you see this great big tall tower with a red light emitting from the top of it. I feel like this right here could well be the beacon, and it is not fully lit yet, because normally with a beacon you have like a light that goes straight up into the sky. And so when Pony says, oh, I think we found what we're looking for, maybe this is in fact the signal or the beacon, and that's maybe what could happen in Piggy Book 2 Chapter 6. Maybe we're kind of left on a cliffhanger with the signal. Maybe Willow turns on a signal and kind of turns the whole Piggy world into complete turmoil. But whatever does happen here, there is some form of untold story here from Pony as well. Pony kind of has a little bit of secret that I'm sure is going to explain a lot more going down the line. So when we find out a little bit more in Piggy Chapter 6, I'm sure we're going to find out something about what Pony has done in the past. I'm sure that there is going to be quite a change of direction in predictions. But because he has been an optometrist and Piggy has been about eyes, it's all been about these eyes in the sky and all of these different characters, all the infecteds, different eyes, I feel like Pony is behind some form of creation of this, because his dad was an optometrist as well. So I believe that there is going to be something going on that kind of Pony has started off here. Maybe some kind of like experiment or something, and that's kind of what has kind of, you know, put the world into what it is. But anyway, again guys, let me know your theories down below, but that is my theory so far. This right here is going to be the beacon, and it is don't trust the signal. The signal is what is going to be infecting everybody. Also, Willow and Mr. Stitchy, I'm sure, are probably working together at this point, and so I think that the finale of kind of Piggy is going to be finding this beacon, shutting off this beacon, and also finding the vaccine which is on the end at the table. So there we have it guys. Hopefully I have cleared it up a bit better. But that is going to be it from me today. Hope you guys did enjoy today's video. Make sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, and we shall see you guys in the next one.